give it to the whole team. But Courtney had 10 rebounds, so that's love right there. She played an unbelievable game. And she's just been so good in the locker room for us and as a leader, and her IQ is off the charts. So it's been great to have her just with the team and how much she helps, not just when she's on the floor, but the way she sees the game and visualizes the game really helps us big time. So.
Courtney Williams, thank you so much for joining me and Callie Finn today. That was your coach at Unrivaled, DJ Sackman, talking about how much you contribute to the team and your high IQ. And that was after the last win you guys just had versus the Laces. Now that was coming off of the first loss that the Lunar Owls experienced. Yeah. So 10 rebounds, like y'all went in on that game. Was it like extra motivation because you guys had just lost, or just that's because the Lunar Owls are that good?
I mean, I think anytime you get a loss, that put a battery in your back, especially when, I mean, you undefeated. So I think that was just like our little reality check. Like, obviously we know we can't take no team lightly. And yeah, I think it just put that battery back in our back.
Okay. So, everything, I was down there opening weekend for Unrivaled, and everything was all, oh, this is great. And you guys are all, fun. And I know everyone respects each other, but it feels like it's getting a little spicier at Unrivaled. So after the Rose beat you guys, there was like a little video floating around of Angel Reese, and she was, doing the the motion. And then after you guys won, Skylar said that you guys have been carrying the league, as in the Lunar Owls have been carrying the league since it started. And then I know you went into that same post game that we just saw you in with DJ Sackman and said you didn't understand why people reacted to that, and basically said you were in agreement with Skylar. I'm paraphrasing, so correct me if I'm saying anything wrong. So have you guys been carrying the league, and is it starting to get spicy? Because when I heard Skylar's comments, I was like, oh, she decided to choose violence.
Nah, I mean, it's getting spicy for everybody else. It been spicy for us, and I think that's the point that we continue to keep saying. Like, since preseason, we have been taking this league serious. We show up to every weight session. We show up to every stretch session. We show up and we compete against one another at every single practice. So, like, just because everybody else starting to turn it up, we been had it turned up. See what I'm saying? Like, and you saw that in our play. You saw that in our record. So when she says we've been carrying this league, our record is not lying on that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we got hit in our mouth. We got to respond, and we did that. But let's not act like folks not geek to beat us. It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, folks win other games and they not hopping around kikiing, popping it. But when they beat us, they popping it. And that's cool because you supposed to. Because we set the standard. You should want to beat us because we 8-0. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like two truths can beat it. Like, they can pop it. They supposed to. They beat us. See what I'm saying? But we also can pop it because, once again, we've been showing up like this every day. I feel like it could be two truths in the same setting. It ain't no smoke.
I love that. I can hear the competitive edge in that answer, which makes me want to ask you about the one-on-one tournament, because I know you tweeted that the guards shouldn't have to go against the post players.
Yeah.
And we saw you hung tough with your teammate Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
But that tweet from you, was that just post-game reactions, or does Unrivaled really need to make a change with the format?
Yeah, nah, I ain't say that after my game. I said that after Rike had to play Aaliyah. Cause I was going for feet, but I'm like, okay, Reed still gotta hold it down for the guards, bro. Cause there's only one more guard left. So when Leah knocked her out, I'm like, all right, man, like this ain't even right. Cause it's one thing to have to defend a post player. It's another thing to let the post player get their rebounds too. Like that's like you automatically put at a disadvantage. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, okay, if it's just one shot and you got to check back up, okay. But at the point that you letting these folks get their rebounds, come on, bro. Like, we over. We going to be over with every time.
So are y'all going to push for a change?
I mean, you know, them folks gonna see what's going on and they gonna make the best business decision. I'm saying.
Okay, talk about a business decision. The
Mm.
NBA All-Star Weekend featured WNBA players heavily. You were one of them, courtside, posing with Kevin
Yeah.
Hart. Just curious, what's kind of your opinion on the NBA incorporating WNBA players into celebrate or festivities like that?
Nah, I love it. I love it. Honestly, I feel like it's so crazy because every dude that I walked by that was in the NBA, they showed me love. It was crazy. Like I didn't even know these folk really watched like that or was really that tapped in until I went to All Star. Cause most of the time I move in, like most basketball spaces I move in are W spaces. You see what I'm saying? This was the first time I ever moved in a like an NBA space, and like the love was crazy. Like it was mad people like, hey, I watch your 1v1, like y'all doing y'all thing. Like I see what you did in the finals. Like it was mad people like just showing so much love. So I'm like, okay, like it shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dang, okay. Like I knew I was popping, you feel me? But I didn't know everybody else knew I was hot like that. But like these folks know that I'm hot like that. They know like the W hot like that. You see what I'm saying? So that was
Yeah.
love, man. I was glad I was able to get out there and like feel that love. You know what I'm saying? Because they really tapped in.
I think everybody knows you're hot, Court.
You
I
gotta
know
tell us
they
who,
know now.
who who stood out the most. Was there somebody that, gave you some flowers and you were like, okay, wow.
Man, it was never no wild moment. You feel me? But the two moments, the two moments that was real smooth though, I'm not gonna lie, was I had to do a 2K tournament with Darius Garland, and we was
Mhm.
playing a game, and like I went, like we playing a video game, and they made like this character that was supposed to be me, but they couldn't put girls on there, so they just made like a boy version of me. So like we was all playing with our characters. So I went into we was playing 2-on-2. So I went into a pull up midi on the game, and bro was like, not you playing just how you play. He was like, yo, midi like be going crazy. So I'm like, okay, bro, you know what you talking about. You feel me? Like you
Right.
really watched what's going on. So that was the first moment where I was like, all right, these boys really tapped in. And then when I was sitting courtside at the All Star, when they went into the final game, Steph came up to me courtside and he was like, "Hey, you a killer for real. Like, I like what you doing, bro. You a dog." And I'm like, "I, bro, locked in. Like, he be watching too." You see what I'm saying? So those was my two moments where I was like, "All right, these boys really locked in. These boys really know what's going on.
Well, he's a three-point assassin, so he recognizes a mid-range assassin.
He know what's going on. He tapped in. He tapped in."
So, Courtney, I'm curious with all the, I mean, you're moving around a lot, Unrivaled, NBA All-Star Weekend, but there's also a
Mm.
lot of movement going on in the WNBA. There was
Right.
so much movement during free agency, and you guys are all at Unrivaled while all this movement is happening.
Uh,
And I know like the Lynx did not have as much activity as
mm.
everyone else, but just what is your reaction to all the movement in the WNBA this free agency season?
I mean, I think it's exciting. I mean, anytime you seeing all of these players that you're used to seeing in certain jerseys about to be in a different environment with a different organization, like that's gonna be crazy, man. I thought AT about to be in Phoenix. That was crazy for me because I'm like, dang, okay, DB going to Indy, Natasha Howard going to Indy. Like Indy about to be stacked. Like Indy about to be looking good. I'm
Super
not
team?
gonna lie, like Indy about to be a little scary. Like we ain't scared, but they gonna be a little scary for other people. Feel me? Who else? Who else was crazy?
Jewel Lloyd?
Jewel Lloyd. We kind of knew Jewel getting up out of there though.
Okay.
You feel me? So but I think just seeing where she was going, like we kind of assumed she would get up out of there, but we didn't know where she was going.
Kelsey
So her
Plum?
going to Vegas. I mean, Kelsey was kind of mixy too.
Okay.
You ain't want to think she would move, but you kind of had to be like, she probably ready to like for a team to be her team. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because like she can be that. You always gonna have to take the back seat to Asia. You feel me? So her being able to go out, spread her wings, and get her own team, like that's gonna be love. So I'm excited to see what she do. I'm excited for all these folk, man, and we gonna still keep doing what we do in Minnesota. So I'm excited to see how everything gonna look.
Well,
Okay,
go
oh,
ahead,
sorry, go
Callie.
ahead.
No, go.
You talked about change in the league. I kind of want to ask you
Mm.
about change for yourself. Like you've been
Uh,
through so many different eras as a player,
right.
from your style to your roles on the court. I'm just wondering,
Mm.
how have you built your philosophy of embracing change?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just love being able to adapt to any environment. I feel like I'm one of them people you can put me in any room and I can vibe in any room. So I feel like that's just what you seen. You just seen the growth of me just being in different situations and getting older. Your girl or fiance, like I done sat down. I done really sat down. I think that's just the growth of life though. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of any situation that I'm in, I'm gonna try and just be the best version of myself that I could be. And that's always worked out well for me.
Well, you brought up Minnesota,
Mm,
uh, and we talked about the fact that you guys didn't have a lot of activity. I mean, obviously, like Chechi got picked up in the expansion draft,
right.
and Maisha Hines Allen left. But
Mm,
for your starters, assuming it's going to remain the same, you guys are pretty much intact. Now, you were just in the finals, so I'm not suggesting your team needed changes. But
mm.
how are you feeling about going into next season with the squad that you guys have? Because I'm watching Unrivaled and Fee's going crazy. She says she's the best player in
Yeah.
Unrivaled, and the
Pop it.
second leading scorer is Kayla. Like
Pop it.
your teammates are going off. And I just sense an edge to them. So I'm
Oh,
wondering,
for
is it
sure.
just them? Is it the whole team? Like, what is it like going into next season?
Yeah, well, we did make a big sign. We got T back, so that was huge for us. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because there was a lot of folks that was trying to grab T during free agency. So the fact that she locked in back with us, so that was huge for us. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's inevitable. Like the way that we lost, uh, I think that just put a chip on everybody's shoulder. And I think you seeing like we all like thankful to Unravel that we that's why that picture. But I think that I think that put us all in a space of just getting better, right? Because at the end of the day, like we have a coaching staff and an organization that believes that we can get it done. I feel like you when you don't see a lot of movement in free agency, that lets you know like they believe that what we have right now, we can still get it done. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just puts that fuel in us to work hard and make sure we up our game. Cause obviously we know everybody trying to get better. So we gotta get better too, you know what I'm saying? And we keeping our core group. We just adding on little pieces, not little, feel me, big pieces. And we gotta do what we do. But I'm excited for us, man. I'm excited for our group. I'm excited to see what we're gonna do next year because I think all of us got that chip on our shoulder for sure.
You point out that picture. Why didn't you like that picture? You're done with the blonde, is that why? Or
Nah, it just really because I was looking kind of crazy in it, but the blonde looked good though. I
Yes,
mean,
we miss it. But I know you said you retired it. You put up a
yeah,
post
it's
and
over
retired
with.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over with for the blonde. I ain't gonna lie. It
wait,
really
the
wasn't
caption.
the. It really wasn't the look because I feel like blonde is my look. Like I feel like I'm really, like I'm popping it with my blonde. But I feel like with my scalp, bro, it was just all of the bleach consistently, and then the black going back in so fast, and having to get a haircut all the time. Like it just became too much, and it was like it was throwing me off my focus more than helping me, cause I was so worried about trying to make sure my blonde was always fresh and I was always looking crispy that it became a distraction. So I told myself I gotta let it go so I can lock in the way I need to.
Okay. Well, look, we want to be respectful of your time. So I think I have
So
one more question for you, and then maybe Callie might. But like, your popularity is just like growing and growing and growing.
Mm.
But alongside that, so is your father's popularity.
So,
He's been at Unrivaled. We saw him all throughout the playoffs. I talked to him. And he's been around. It's not like a new thing. He's been supporting you. He's your number one fan. He's been supporting you for years. And I guess can you speak to what it's like to have that kind of support from your father and just the connection between you two? Because it seems like a lot of your personality comes from him.
yeah, hey, that's my guy, man. He always tell me the more famous I get, the more famous he get. So he said, so keep turning it up. But nah, that's my guy, man. He always been around, always my number one supporter. And I think it's huge for people to see, honestly, because obviously I'm a gay masculine woman. So I feel like and I'm black. You feel me? So I feel like you rarely see like fathers step the way he stepped behind me, cause he really don't care. Like he don't care what room he in. He don't care who around. I mean, like you said, I guess I'm him reincarnated, cause I'm the same way. But I feel like he just always supported me. It ain't matter. It ain't matter where I was at, who I was with, what I was doing. That was always my guy. So I'm glad he getting his shine on, man.
I love that for you, Courtney.
For
I love
sure.
that too. Wow. Okay, that's a hard one to follow up. But in closing, reactions to Diana Taurasi retiring. I'm curious just what your thoughts were and if maybe she
Mm.
was involved in any of your welcome to the league moments or if there's a welcome to the league moment that stands out to you.
Yeah, man. DT been huge for me. I got drafted to Phoenix. So I was in the locker room like, dang, I'm about to really meet DT. Like, this is about to be crazy. Um, but nah, what's my moment with DT? I knew DT was retiring because when we played them, I had to holler at her. I was like, DT, talk to me, bro. Like, you really done or you gonna keep going? So I was like, man, Court, I ain't got it no more, man. My body. I'm like, all right, dog. I said, well, man, you my big vet, bro. Like, I appreciate everything you did. But my story for DT is I remember when I was in Phoenix, my rookie season, and I did not touch the floor. Like, they barely played me. Like, I was probably getting in the game, like, maybe last 30 seconds, last minute. Like, it was really on some, like, let's just get these folks that's in the game out the game. So who can we throw in? Like, that was what my minutes was. So I remember, like, just my little feelings was just so hurt because I was killing at practice. So I was like, I gotta get me a little bit of tick this week. Like, I just been killing, but I didn't. So it's the last 30 seconds, and I gotta go sub in with the rest of the other four to just get the people out the game. And I remember walking by DT and my eyes watering because like my feelings really hurt. Like I'm like, man, like these folks treat me like I'm a scrub. And I remember my eyes watering. I remember DT seeing me, and she come up to me. She like, Court, you a effing bucket, man. I don't care what's on the clock. Go get you one. And that just put some pride back in me, man. That just put that pride back in me. And I said, you're right. I'm about to go get me one. I'm going to go get me one. And that is like, that's my story for DT, man. I appreciate everything DT like brought to the game, man. Like you said, the game is different because of how she came in and how she changed the game. And like I said, she put that battery back in my back. So shout out to my big dog DT, man. Go enjoy your retirement, dog.
That is so dope.
So
Listen, Courtney, we're so appreciative of your time coming on and joining us. And I am really looking forward to you next season because you told me, you said you think by next season, you're going to be like fully in your point guard bag. So I don't know if you feel like Unrivaled's been helping you with that, but I'm looking forward to covering you next season and watching you go ham. Looking forward to it.
appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks, Courtney.